Hello, everyone. Hi, Cheryl Arkle, Better Reading. Hello. Hello, lovely readers at home. It is sunny and cold in Sydney. I'm here alone. Jane is away today. So welcome. Welcome to What Are You Reading? Cheryl Arkle, Better Reading. Now, we have got a lot of books. I mean, there is so much happening at the moment. So make sure that you're there and ready. Hi, Natalie. Make sure you're there and ready to talk about what you're reading. So much going on. So welcome. This is our usual Thursday segment, one of my favourite segments, actually. We do a couple during the week. Hi, Carolyn. Carolyn's reading The Long Call by Anne Cleeves, author of Vera and Shetland. It was published last year, the first book in a new series. Thank you, Carolyn, for letting us know. Hi, Sandra. Hi, Diane. Hi, Tilly. Hi, Joy Bell. Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome. As you can see, I'm alone today. Jane is away, but she will be back next week. Hi, Linda. Hi, Julietta. So I'm going to try and navigate everything on my own. I can usually pull it off, but bear with me. Okay, I'm going to start with Book of the Week. There we go, Pamela Hart. It's called Digging Up Dirt. Now, you'll know Pamela Hart, and she also writes as Pamela Freeman as well, but she has written fiction, historical fiction in the past. This is not historical fiction. It's a cosy crime novel. It's actually really great. And it's about this murder that happens during house renovation. It comes from the fact that Pamela has renovated herself and came up with this idea. And for those of you that have renovated, you'll know that renovation could lead to murder because it is such a stressful process. I thought about the time that I renovated, and I'm sure I could have killed somebody in the process. But anyway, it's really funny, and it keeps you guessing till the very end. So that's Pamela Hart's new book, and it's our Book of the Week. All right, now there's so much going on. I want to talk about this really beautiful book. Can you see that? That is Alice Pong. And it's called 100 Days. This is just the proof copy. We don't have a finished copy yet. I don't know why. And it's set during the 80s in working class Melbourne. Now, Alice, I think, lives in Melbourne. And it's 100 Days. It's kind of a fractured fairy tale that explores the relationship between mother-daughter relationships, identity, race, and class. It's a really good read, and it's been well loved and well read in this office. Jasmine in particular has loved it. And I think, Bianca, you're on there. I think, Bianca, this is a book for you. So tell us what you're reading, and I'm just going to go through the comments. Before I do that, don't forget we are in the Australian notable books. We are in the Australian almost every Saturday, and we've had a really good response to it, actually. So thank you, those that have been telling us great things about our article, our column, if you like. I'm trying to use newspaper language. Okay, Stacey is reading The Road Trip and enjoying it. Right, The Road Trip. Is that... Here we go. No, that's a drop-off. Okay, I'm getting myself mixed up. I can't remember who wrote The Road Trip, but we talked about it last. Beth O'Leary, of course. That was The Road Trip. That was last week. Kathy's reading The Good House. Karen says, hi, Cheryl, reading Pieces of Her by Karen Slaughter, who we love. Hi, Lars. Sandra is reading Clara and the Sun. Amy says, hi. Amy is joining us via YouTube. Hi, Amy, and welcome via YouTube. Wynne, she is reading How to Mend a Broken Heart by Rachel Johns. We love Rachel, and it is a great book. Natalie's still reading Rosamund Pilcher's Coming Home, as it's 1,000 pages. So that'll be... you'll be reading that for the next couple of weeks, Natalie, but that's fine. Alison's reading the Dictionary of Lost Words by Pip Williams, who, you know, that's been a real favourite here. Joy Bell is reading Belinda Alexandra's White Gardenia, which is an earlier one, I think, and we love Belinda. Hi, Bianca. Did you just see that recommendation for you? Lisa's reading Fiona Lowe, A Home Like Ours. We love Fiona. Tracy, looking forward to Digging Up Dirt for an upcoming book club read. Good. Tilly is reading Outback Spirit. Diane is different for, Diane is commenting on the Pamela Hart book, and it is different, but it's certainly worth a read. She's really good at writing crime as well. And I think this is going to be at the beginning of a crime series. As I said, I spoke to her on for our podcast. Okay, so we've got 2 books today, coincidentally, that have been written by 2 authors. So this is a husband and wife team, and this is called The Pickup. It's a really hilarious book. It's a sequel to The Drop-Off, which you might remember. And this time the parents are going on a school camp, and you can imagine so much happens there. What do they say? That nothing ever goes wrong, but it really does go wrong. But Fiona and Mike are joining us next Wednesday night. They're going to be our guest authors Wednesday night on Facebook, 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Now, while we were talking about that, last night was Adele Parks. I know a lot of you joined that conversation last night. She was speaking with Sally Hepworth, and it was really great conversation. Adele was fabulous, and thanks everyone for joining us. And so next week is The Pickup by Fiona and Mike. Okay, I've got so much going on. You know, I can't live without Jane anymore. Now, Meryl, I'm reading Digging Up Dirt, really enjoying the book. Linda, I've just finished Digging Up Dirt as well. Lee is reading The Four Winds by Kristen Hanna. Jenny, hi Cheryl. Hi Jenny, I'm reading Mayflies by Andrew O'Hagan. Barbie, just about to start the Paris Library. Hi Barbie. So the Paris Library, who was that by? Can somebody help me? Who was the Paris Library by? I think it was, I can't remember. Okay, Donna is reading an arc of Had It Coming by B.M. Carroll. So that's a preview copy. I don't know if it's one of ours. Bianca just started listening to The Joy Luck Club by Amy Tan. Well, an oldie but a goldie. Also reading No One Is Talking About This by Patricia Longwood. Thanks, Bianca. And then I think you've got to read The Alice poem next. Christine says, hi, Cheryl, just finished You Need to Know and now reading The Bluffs by Kyle Perry. The Bluffs. He's got a new book coming out in July. Watch this space. Kyle is also going to join us again on the Meet the Author, the Wednesday night Facebook event that we do. Okay, now for those of you who have been reading and talking about Falling by T.J. Newman, I mean, what a wonderful book. It's getting a lot of praise, a lot of review. Jane read it when she was on a flight, and that was the wrong thing to do because it freaked her out totally. It's when a pilot's family is kidnapped, and he must crash the plane carrying 143 people or his family will die. So that's The Falling, and the author is T.J. Newman. And I think we had T.J. for a live event with Dervla McTiernan. Yes, we did. Okay, all right, what else? Oh, now, we all remember the Rosie Project, don't we? I mean, I don't think there's a person in this country who has not read this book. Well, from the same author and his wife, another husband and wife team, we've got the new book from Graham Simsian and his wife, Anna Buist, and this is fiction, but I think it is based on a trip that they did. And it's the sequel to Two Steps Forward. And we revisit Zoe and Martin as they walk another pilgrimage in Europe. I think the first pilgrimage was the Camino, and this is another one in France. And they're writing about that. They're such a great team, and I think there's a competition on our Facebook page. And there's a video of Graham and Anne, so watch that. So you'll all know the Rosie Project, so it'll be fabulous. Okay, what's happening? Susan just finished reading Where the Crawdads Sing. Fantastic. So you will know that came in at number 1 for the top 100. Speaking of the top 100, right, top 50 kids. We've opened the voting for the top 50 children's books. Now, I know you're all adult readers, but you will remember what I guess kids' books are the books that shaped you. And I know that I particularly love picture books. And I remember one of the books that really moved me, one of the earlier books, fictional novels that I read, and that was Charlotte's Web. So what was it that really kind of moved you, I guess, what were you reading when you were a child? Charlotte's Web was one. I really love reading John Brown Rose and the Midnight Cat because I named my dog John Brown, as you all know. And there's so many books that we can go through that are formative. Did we find out who wrote the Paris Library? Somebody help me out there. Pardon? Oh, Janet, yes, right, there we go. Okay, you might type that into comments, which would be great so everybody can see. What have we got? Let me just find out where I'm at. I love the Paris Library, yep. Hi, Emma. Julietta, hi. I recently finished Welcome to Nowhere River, loved it, and reread Man and Boy by Tony Parsons. Now she's a couple of chapters into The Nancys by Rob McDonald. Thanks, Julietta. Dahlia says hi. Sandra Scully, also reading Good Indian Daughter to review for Better Reading. Thank you. Now, you know about our preview program. If you want to participate, you just need to subscribe to our weekly newsletter, betterreading.com.au, and we have preview books on offer, at least 1 or 2 a week. Joe just bought Alice's book, can't wait to read it. Merrin says, hi, Shara, I'm reading Falling by TJ Newman. We just talked about that. Julietta, loving your column in the Weekend Australian. Thank you, Julietta. We are loving it too. We're just super excited every time we see it. Yeah, so I'm glad everybody's enjoying it. Okay, Bianca, I already have Alice on my TBR list. Thank you. I knew you would. The minute I saw it, I knew you would love it. Emma is reading The Last Thing He Told Me by Laura Dave. Rebecca, You Had It Coming by B.M. Carroll. That's what she's reading. Not that I had it coming, just so you know. Chris, hi guys, reading You Need to Know by Nicola Moriarty, loving it. That's getting a lot of great conversation. Malibu Rising is what Wendy is reading. Jenny just finished Sweet Bean Paste by Duran Squigaga, and now reading The Jam Queens, both sweet but very different. Christine is currently reading Mirrorland and loving it. Diane just finished watching the movie and ordered the book this morning. I'm not sure what that was for, but we will follow that up. Love your show. Oh, Christine, thank you. Christine says she loves the show. We love you guys. We love our readers. And she's reading Unsheltered by Claire Moletta, which we talked about a couple of weeks ago, which is great. Cheryl, hi Cheryl, reading The Shape of Us by Lisa Ireland. Now, what I'm going to get back, everybody's been talking about this as well, by Jacqueline Bublitz. It's a young girl moves to New York and is murdered. Before you knew it, Before You Knew My Name doesn't ask. It's not a whodunit. Instead, it asks who was she, who was the person that was murdered, the woman, and what did she leave behind. Really beautiful book, beautiful cover, and there's been a lot of conversation happening around that. Okay. Oh gosh, this is a really moving non-fiction book, Platoon Commander. It's actually written by a platoon commander, John O'Halloran, and it's his first-hand account of the Vietnam War. One of Australia's most distinguished platoon commanders himself, who is now regarded as a national treasure. So this book is definitely worth a look. I mean, you know, as you can imagine, it's a very tough gig. Now, podcasts, right. Kathy Reich's out this week, the podcast, The Bone Code, again, very popular. I had a chat with her, a really great conversation, worth listening to. But listen, don't forget, if you like our podcast, and I hope you do, please remember to write us a review because that helps us in our ratings. Okay, what else have we got? Let me just, Cheryl is reading The Shape of Us. I think we talked about that. Mary says hi. Catherine's reading When the Apricots Bloom. Elizabeth reading The Art of Keeping Secrets by Rachel Johns. Mary's reading Rodham for book club. That book has really endured and has been very loved. I've just finished the Paris Library, loved it. And the audio times, she's also listening to the audio Times Convert and is now reading by Audible The Dry. So you're mixing it up there, Annie. I hope I got all of that right. Tilly is reading Outback Spirits by Sue Williams. Catherine just read Digging Up the Dirt too. Patricia's reading Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine and has just read The Jam Queens. Both really great feel-good books. Joy Bell, reading Rachel John's new book, or is that's what you're going to read? Love Rachel, and loved last night's video call as well. Yes, last night was wonderful, wasn't it? Kerry just finished The Street Sweeper by Elliot Perlman and reading Other Women by Kathy Kelly. Linda can't wait to read The Drop-Off and then The Pick-Up. Lee, some of the book highlighted in this week's newsletter look fabulous. Thank you, Lee. Emma says Eleanor Oliphant is amazing, and it is. Ebony, having a big June, finished Shuggie Bain last week, which was incredible, reading Malibu Rising over the long weekend and was disappointed with it. Oh, that's a shame. Currently reading Half-Life, which is incredibly engaging and will be ripped through this week. Well, you just keep reading, Ebony. Natasha Lester, The Paris Library. Anyway, I don't think it's Natasha Lester. She's written, who is it again? Janet Scaslien Charles is the author of The Paris Library. We've just looked it up, and thank you, Natalie Burke, for that. And thank you, Kathy, for that. Michelle just finished reading the Road Trip by Beth O'Leary. Emma, looking forward to The Deep. Yes, that's by our lovely friend, Carl Perry. That's right. I've got everybody in the background helping me out, and I've got you guys at home helping me out. Hey, I want to talk about this too, The Covered Wife by Lisa Emanuel, who is a Sydney writer we discovered last week. It's a smart young lawyer. Sarah falls in love with Daniel. They become involved in an Orthodox Jewish community, which becomes sinister and cult-like over time. Really interesting debut, very gorgeous cover. And Lisa, hello from all of us here at Better Reading. Okay, this was our book of the week a few weeks ago, We Were Not Men by Campbell Mattinson. It's a powerful, really powerful book, and it's an unbearably moving story of twin brothers, John and Eden, as they grow up and begin to understand what it is like to be men and what it takes to knit their family back together. This is debut fiction. It's Campbell's first book, and it really is a knockout. He was meant to come to the office. I think we told you that a little while ago, but because of COVID, he got stuck in Melbourne. Okay, what else have we got? Falling is brilliant. It is, Merrin, thank you for that. What else? Well, I've just lost my spot. Gosh, there's so many of you out there today. Don't forget to vote for the top 50 kids. Voting is open now. Right, what have we got? Here we go. I've caught up. Julie, I've just finished an oldie, The Loner by Josephine Cox. Great story. Donna, The Falling is really good. Sandra, I love Nowhere River too. Lee says, I haven't read The Rosie Project, but Two Steps Onward sounds fabulous. Go back and read The Rosie Project, because I'm sure a lot of you guys have, and there'll be lots of discussion around it. Julie, Burning Fields by Ali Sinclair is what she's reading, and looking forward to more of hers. Isn't that amazing sometimes when you get onto an author? Do you guys do this? I do this. You know, you get onto an author and you read their first book, and for some reason, I can't read anything else other than that author's book. And I don't go to another novel until I've finished all that author's book. So if there's a big library there, I'm very busy reading that author's for a long time. Do you guys do that? Let me know. Cheryl, again, finally, Stephen King's new book is coming out. I can't wait to read it. And Fiona's Mirror Man, so glad she wrote another one in the series. Rachel is reading Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. Catherine just voted Harry for the Dirty Dog. I mean, what a great one. Yeah, that is a good one. Lee, I entered the top 50 kids books for one of my daughters. She adores Friday Barnes. I read absolutely everything I could get my hands on. Great. Go out there and vote. Julieta says, yes, Charlotte's Web, #1 for her as well. It really was just a formative book for me. Tell me what a formative book for you was as a child. Was it a picture book? Was it a chapter book? Let us know, and don't forget to vote for the top 50 kids. Sandra, I've received almost all of my 100 books. It's been like Christmas. Oh, I'm so happy. So Sandra Scully was one of the winners of voting for the top 100, and she won the top 100 books. She ran it every copy. So I'm glad you've almost got all of them. Actually, and thanks for bringing that up, because if you vote for the top 50 kids, you go into the draw to win the top 50 kids books. So it's the same kind of thing. And we have 7 lots to give away as well. Natalie, Charlotte's Web, all of the Eden Blyton, Little House on the Prairie, I'd forgotten that. Gosh, I love that. And many more. Do you know, and I also loved watching Little House on the Prairie as well. Okay. Thanks, Natalie, for sharing that. Kerry, The Tea Girl of Hummingbird by Lisa C., halfway through it and is loving it. That's what she's reading. Tars is reading I'm So Effing Tired by Amy Shah. I don't know that, but that sounds wonderful. Amy is reading While Paris Slept by Ruth Druitt. Susan said that Little House on the Prairie. Do you know what? I had completely forgotten about that. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. I am going to find those books. I'm also going to see if I can find the TV series. It's got to be streaming somewhere, right? Anyway, we'll find it. Joanne, Little Women is a childhood fave, but his Dark Materials trilogy by Philip Pullman is amazing. YA and adult fiction for sure. Claire reading Sam Mack's book, Kayati. Just finished reading The Good Indian Daughter by Ruhi Lee and loved it beyond words. Now I'm starting The Permanent Resident by Rowana Gonsalves. Now, can I just say, I spoke to Ruhi. That podcast is not out yet, but I had the most wonderful conversation with her. I asked her so many personal questions about The Good Indian Daughter. I'm not going to share with you our conversation because you really have to go and listen to it, particularly Kayati. If you love the book, you will love the podcast. Karen's reading The Second Son by Lorraine Peck. Diane's reading The Joy Luck Club. Okay, I've got more books to go. What have I got here? Oh, here we go. I've got Stella Quinn, The Vet from Snowy River, fresh and funny. It's a rural romance. You got to love a vet, right? I mean, people that love animals. I love animals, and I love people that love animals. I really haven't met many animal lovers that I haven't loved. Anyway, so this is Vera opens a cafe in the Snowy Mountains. The twins' golden boy returns and complicates her life. It's a really feel-good read and really beautiful cover. Okay, what else have we got? Oh, this one. All That I Remember About Dean Kohler by Tanya Chandler. You guys have spoken about this quite a lot. It's come up in comments. Sydney is happily married, but her life is marred by breakdowns. She returns to her hometown to face the trauma. It's an interesting book, and it's quite confrontational. And there is some sexual assault and abuse there, so be careful if you're worried about that. But really a good book to read as well, and that's a proof copy right there. Okay, now, wow, this is beautiful. Jane and I talked about this last week. It's called Still Life by Sarah Winman. It is, if you loved Ian Foster, A Room with a View, you will love this. And it's a soldier and an art historian meet in Florence in 1944, their lives intertwine over the next 4 decades. It's a beautiful friendship and a great armchair travel. Look at that beautiful, stunning jacket. Okay, what else have we got? Have I covered everything I meant to cover? Podcast reviews, vote for the top 50 kids. Oh, the Miles Franklin. Gosh, have we spoken about that? The Miles Franklin. I went to the shortlist event last night at the State Library of New South Wales. Always such a beautiful building to visit. Here's the list. We've also got the list on the website. This is the shortlist. Most of the authors were there, or not all of them, but most of the authors were there last night, and it was great to see them there. And congrats to all those shortlisted authors, and the winner will be announced shortly. Okay, what else have we got? Barbara, New Animal by Ella Baxter is what she's reading. And Joybell, I never miss you guys, but can't always see it live, so happy to be live today. Oh, Joybell, we're very happy to have you live. And yes, you know that if you miss it, it's recorded. Emma, yes, Emma is commenting on the platoon commander, and yes, it really is good. Barbara says, love your reviews. Thank you, Barbara. Bianca, I'm 2 hours into it and loving it. I want to watch the Amy Tan doco on Netflix, but thought I should read it first. Okay, I'm going to look that up. I didn't know there was a doco on Netflix. Thanks for the tip. Okay, so everybody's talking about their favourite kids' books, so I'm going to go through those because it's worth it. I've just missed my spot, so let me just find it. Here I am. Okay, Linda's reading The Paris Secret by Natasha Lester. Any chance of a hint of which books you've reviewed for newspapers this weekend? No chance. No. That is top secret until Saturday, Emma. We can't tell you, but look out for this space. And also, we always post a photo of the article on our Instagram account. So follow Better Reading on Instagram account and you'll get to see it first thing Saturday morning, or as quickly as I get up to go and get the paper and get my coffee. That's how quickly you see it. Okay, what have we got? Melissa, hi Cheryl, just started The Whole Truth by Cara Hunter. Lee's reading We Were Not Men was brilliant. Given I have a family of swimmers, it was particularly interesting to me. Natalie, Ebony McLeod, you're the first person I've heard to say Malibu Rising wasn't for them. Okay, you guys can have that conversation. Amy's doco is wonderful. Thank you for the tip. I'm going to watch it. We Were Not Men has gorgeous cover. I'm considering adding it to my huge pile. That's Bianca. What else have we got? Melissa's reading Black Widows by Kate Quinn. What I want to see is Lee. This is kids' books that you read as a child that had left a lasting impression on you. For Lee, it was Lord of the Flies, and she's reread it several times. Amanda is coming to us via YouTube, and for her, Folk of the Faraway Tree. When I was young, loved the books. What else have we got? Joanne says her and her hubby are both currently loving Michael Robotham books, and there's a new one coming, Joanne, so you'll be very happy with that. Cheryl, I love The Famous Five and the Secret Seven series as a kid by Ian Blyton. What have we got? Winnie the Pooh. Chris liked Winnie the Pooh, and Wind in the Willows was special for her. Mary, Little House on the Prairie. Del Toro Quest series got, yes, that was really wonderful. That was an Australian series, and I'm trying to remember who the author was, but I have Emily Rodder, and I have interviewed her a couple of times. Sandra loved Anna Green Gables, definitely The Famous Five for Catherine. Linda is Eli Mitchell's The Silver Brumby. Yes, I love that. Mary is reading The Vet from the Snowy River, switching between ebook and audio and loving it. So, okay, that's it. There's so many. Bianca, I've just downloaded Lucky's just because I saw it on the short list. Thank you. I read and really enjoyed The Rain. Anyway, there are so many there. I'm going to stop now because I can't get through any more comments. There's so many of you. Keep talking and keep talking amongst yourselves. And, of course, I will read all the comments tonight. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's been a long session, so I better go. I think I've been wound up. Don't forget, vote for your favourite kids book because you could win all 50 books. See you next time.